Hello everybody, Volkswagen Beetle. By the way, this looks worse than a pig's arse. Anyway, I'm going to show you this Beetle. I've got to check it over for an MOT, but I'm going to show you the inside, which is rather interesting. You could say it's well lived in. Before I even start, the wiper blades, where are they? Look at this. That's absolutely knackered. That's an MOT fail. This one's no bloody better. This is an American woman apparently. Where is it? There. Woohoo! They're not clearing jack shit. But look at this. I'm just wondering if is there any rats in here? Nice. Oh my god! Talk about not clean your freaking car. It's like a biohazard in here. What's here under the back seats? Oh, there could be soiled nappies. I dread to think what I could catch. I don't even want to sit in here. There could be needles and God knows what. Oh look! Oh bless. It's got a load of face masks. That's it. You keep your bloody face covered. What's from your own bloody stench? Flipping heck. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a walk around this Beetle, and I'm going to have a quick look around and see what it needs for an MOT test. I'm pretty sure the wheel bearings are screwed. I only had to drive it about 10 miles an hour and I can hear them. So I should go through the lights first and then get it up in the air. Well, surprisingly enough, all the lights seem to work, but there again, there's the major problem. The engine light's on. That's a fail. I've just put my bar to hold the foot brake down to check the stop lights. They're certainly working. Even the centre light's working. So that's good. There's one thing you do need to check. Always check there's a sealing ring on your fuel cap. Yep, that's fine. I've literally just gone all the way around, checked all the seat belts, this, that and the third. And look at this door mirror. This is the telltale giveaway that something's not quite right. Something's not quite kosher with this mirror. Woohoo! Hello! Yeah, so somehow I don't think that mirror is going to pass an MOT. Oh, actually, I'll just lift the bonnet up, a little pull handle. Where's my light? These lights, they're very good. Nebo, excellent lights. Anyway, under here, there's not a great deal to see. I can't really see much of the steering or anything, so it's just a general check over. Make sure there's no leaks, no petrol smells or anything like that. You can check the brake fluid reservoir, it's got plenty of fluid, which it has, surprisingly enough. But everything looks okay from what I can see. The engine would appear to be running all right, which is a bit concerning because this is going to need an emissions test. And I can't check the emissions here at this garage, there's no emission meter to check it. So I'll have to go down to the MOT centre to see what they're reading. Hopefully they'll be alright, but we'll see. Anyway, right, let's go up in the air. We're in. Let's start on the driver's front. Oh, do you know what? I haven't got to look far, have I? Great. A great big gaping hole in the outer seal. That hang on, let's come to the outside. Yeah, lovely. That's going to need plating. I'm trying to use my phone here because it's more convenient. But looking around, the tyre looks good. I guess that's one thing. We'll come to that in a minute. Yeah. I'm just going to have a general sweep around. I'll probably show this a bit more detail when I get it up in the air. But you see that lower suspension arm, the rear bush just there, it's completely come out of the arm more or less, and the arm is sitting on the subframe. So that's going to need a new arm put in on it. We'll try and pan round slowly underneath here. At least it's a dry engine. No coolant leaks from the radiator. No power steering leaks. So yeah, it's pretty clean up front. Chassis looks okay. I will have a good feel of the anti-roll bar links, the bushes, the ball joints I'll come to when I get the wheels jacked up. McPherson's struts up there. And have a good check of the brake hoses, brake pipes. You see how the disc back plate have rotted away, but that's quite a common thing. The bush is still in this arm. We'll see what it looks like when I get it jacked up. Oh, this seal's a good one. Apparently they rot out on these seals quite profusely. It's quite a common thing. So I hear. Exhaust is all right. That looks like an aftermarket catalytic converter, which makes me wonder how good are the emissions. Right, I'm going to work my way back, get underneath this jacking beam. Plastic fuel pipes, at least they won't rot out, which is more than can be said for this seal here. It's gone at the back as well, just a great big hole. So that needs another plate put in there. Fuel filter, no leaks. The fuel tank straps. There's a brake pipe there, a little bit rusty. I'm kind of figuring that would probably clean up with a wire brush and be able to grease that. But I'd have to have a close up look at that. You've got to pay attention to the brake hoses and the ferrules. That one's getting a bit rusty, but it depends how bad they are really, how bad they're corroded. But from what I'm seeing, that's the only bit of brake pipe that's looking at half bad. More brake hoses up here, they're generally okay. This handbrake lever's pulled off the stop a little bit, so I'm wondering how good the handbrake's working this side. It may well be working fine. Spring looks okay from what I can see of it so far. Got to keep an eye on these rear subframes as well. They can rot. Yeah. Right, well, there's not much at the back. The exhaust, that's all held on. No holes in it that I can see. Someone's replaced this rear caliper at some point. That don't look too old. That spring's okay. Brake hose this side's not too bad. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with the brake pipes. Following them around, they all seem to be in good condition. And you've also got to watch these fuel tank straps, because they're getting a bit bloody rusty, but they seem to be all in one piece. That's the main thing. Oh, God almighty. Hello. More corrosion. That's 3 holes now. Right, anyway, there's no leaks from the exhaust. The flipping exhaust heat shield has been kind of hung up by cable ties. That's all flapping around. Oh dear, not very good so far. I'm just going to have a closer look at this lower suspension arm where this bush is separated from the actual arm. It's like the arm should not be sitting on the subframe right there. That bush should be inside that arm, and it's not. It's completely come out. So that's probably clonking and God knows what. So that's not good. Let me just check the ball joint. Not that it matters because I'm going to change the arm anyway. If I can get a bar in between the arm and the hub, prise it. There's no play in the ball joint. I'll jack I'll lever the tyre from underneath just to check as well. Yeah, no, the ball joint's all right. But like I say, when we buy a new arm, it will come in the ball joint anyway, no doubt. Oh, actually, I'm not sure about these because these ball joints are bolted on. The arm might actually come separate to the ball joint, so yeah, we'll have to see. I suppose next thing is what's the wheel? I know I heard a wheel bearing noise, so I want to know which wheel bearing's gone. The springs are okay, they're all in one piece. Brake hoses and brake pipes are good. So, right, let's see what this wheel bearing sounds like. I can confirm this wheel bearing is good, no noise whatsoever. Passenger front wheel, let's see what the old ball joint's like. Sorry for the light in here, it's trying to juggle too many things. There's nothing there, that's fine. I'll just give this wheel a lever. Nah, that's good. I've been round this anyway. The drive shaft boots, the drive shafts. Generally, I grab hold of the drive shafts and wriggle them about to see if there's any play. It's because I know from the Mark V Mondeos we get a lot of play in the inner joints. They get worn out. I know other cars it'll be the outer joints, but I haven't heard nothing there. Anyway, they're all good. Brake hoses, brake pipes, everything looks in place. The discs aren't great. They're a bit corroded, but as long as they're thick enough and they're not binding or juddering, then they should still be okay. The lower suspension arm bush on this side, you see the bush is actually in the arm where it should be. And if I lever, it's springy, so that's good. And the arm is not sitting on the subframe. So this one's still good. The bush is starting to split slightly, but it's okay still. Anti-roll bar inner bushes look okay. I've looked at the spring this side, that's all good. Now I guess it's just, let's see if this wheel bearing's noisy, because I drove through the yard and I could hear it. It was like as rough as bloody arseholes. So let's see. Oh yeah. This wheel bearing's definitely noisy. You may not be able to hear it, but I can hear it here. Even if I spin the wheel and put my hand on the coil spring, I can feel the roughness of the wheel bearing transmitted through to the coil spring. That is bollocks. Okay, I have the rear of the vehicle jacked up. Let's hope we don't find too much more, because we could be getting close to writing this car off. Rear springs, they're all in one piece. In actual fact, I'll say out of the calipers, it looks like the disc isn't too old either. That's been changed recently, well, probably a year ago. Anyway, get my old torch in position. have a good check of the tyres, and especially on alley wheels, because they can crack on the rims. I know they're not common for cracking on Volkswagens, but on BMWs the rear wheels are. I've had loads of BMWs where this rim has got a crack in it. Anyway, I will say one thing about this car, good plus, it's got 4 good tyres on it, and more of the same on the driver's side. The tyre's all good, I can't see no nails or cuts or splits or bulges in the tyre. The coil spring's all in one piece. Shock absorbers look okay, they're not leaking or anything, they're all secure. Calipers are on, the brake pads are okay. The back plate on the disc is corroded to hell, but not that that really matters. So no, chassis looks okay. So that's about it under here. I'll give the rear wheels a spin, make sure there's no more wheel bearings gone, and then I think that's about my check over. I've already checked the passenger side rear wheel from the outside, and everything's fine over there. No wheel bearing noise either. This driver's side is pretty much the same. All good. Wheel bearing's good. But here's something I always do. On the actual tyre valves, I always grab hold of them and sort of like give them a good wriggle around. Because I've had a number of times in the past, you can go like that with the valve and they'll start hissing air where they're starting to split. I normally seem to find you get that on vans where they've got more air pressure in the tyres. They can disintegrate these bloody rubber valves. But anyway, that's just a tip. But no, everything looks good this side. The brake pads are pretty good. Just up here on the rear axle, you've got the bush that goes in the rear axle where it mounts to the chassis. I get a bar in there and push that bloody bar about just to make sure that the bush isn't knackered, because some cars, the bushes near these rear axles can get worn out. This one's okay, thank God. Shame about these seals though, and that's pretty bad. But even here where the plastic wheel arch comes down onto the outer seal, you can see the rust. It's bubbling, it's all starting to bubble up here as well. I've been told these are quite a common problem on these Volkswagens. So it's definitely going to need a bit of welding doing to it. And along this side as well, we've got a bubble of rust there. Yeah, I can actually feel it with my finger where it's ballooned a little bit. Yeah. Oh well. Oh dear. Hang on a minute. I have to raise my phone up onto this battery so we can see what we're doing. I've just been down the other garage because they've got a rolling road down there so you can check the brakes. The brakes are good. At least the bloody thing can stop. As far as the emissions go, you know I said earlier it's got an aftermarket cat on it. Looks a cheap one by the way. Well, the Lambda and the emissions, they're all fine and idle. The problem is when you take the revs up, as soon as you get over 2000 RPM, the RPM kind of takes off by itself, and you know what? And it's really hard to hold the RPM. I was pissing around trying to hold it steady. Finally, I got it held, and it will pass the emissions, luckily, but it's a bit of assing around, if you know what I mean. I should think there's something not quite right with it, but at least it will pass. So that's a big headache out of the way. So no, I guess that's about it. I've gone through it as like checks you would do for an MOT test. So I guess this customer's got some work to do to it first, so I guess I'll write out the bill, what it's going to cost to get it done, especially the welding. That's going to cost a few bob, that's for sure. Yeah, not cheap, and we'll see what they want to do. Before I end this video, let me just sit down in this lovely car. Oh my God, look at this. Easy cheese. I I reckon she's been sort of like, oh, I reckon she's been down in easy cheese while she's been driving. So anyway, that can go in the pile of rubbish. There. What a lovely car. Is any of yous out there like this who've never cleaned your car out since the day you've owned it? Because I think that's bloody terrible. I mean, this is nothing more than a skip. Anyway guys, that's all I really wanted to show, was the disgusting mess in here. I mean, it doesn't take much just to clean out I mean, it's not that bad stuff, it's just cans of shit, isn't it? Like, she's got a sweet tooth, that's for sure. And she's got nuts, lots of little nuts she's been eating. Oh, it's oh well, anyway, that's it, that's my video over. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.